Bit of a habitat change now. We're heading out towards the Savannah country. And out there's a heap of reptiles to find. Especially a lot of venomous snakes, so we haven't been out here in years. Can't bloody wait. Not good. Looks like someone's come off the edge.
Welcome to Pimp My Ride. We've added an Outback Creek to this car. Get pimped.
On this episode of Cold Blooded Cousins, we are returning to one of our favourite herping spots in Australia, the Savannah country of North Queensland.
Oh, Kyle, look. I found a gecko. So this is Ogira coggerai, I believe they call it these days. I don't know, wait a year and they'll change the name. Have a look at that. Pretty gecko, but pretty gross at the same time. Just laying out some nice nuggets on me hands. He's saying, you better use your hand sanitizer, mate. He'll be out looking for some of the smaller geckos to feed on, and we've seen plenty of big crickets out here as well. There's 2 species of Ogira out this way, so this is a good spot for them.
Velvet geckos are famous for their really soft skin and absolutely stunning colours.
And I found it by keeping my ears out, listening to the slightest rustle. And that's the best way to find geckos, I reckon. I just saw his tail poking out of little bits of grass.
I just gotta let him go. Back up on these rocks. What on earth is going on here? We've got 2 binos geckos here. What appears to be
Cannibalism.
Mortal Kombat at the very least.
Throughout all of our films we have made, you may hear us say his or she's, when in fact we never know exactly the sex of each individual. It's just how Steve and I have always described a particular individual.
Quite unusual. We're trying to work out whether it's territory or food. Don't think they're trying to mate, because he's just being way too rough.
He's killing it. What? He's escaped. Where's the other one? Is the other one
Just
dead?
down there. Nope, it's alive. They're off.
We may have saved its life. That's interesting.
I reckon that was male-to-male combat over territory, and possibly breeding. There might be a nice-looking girl around here.
It's pretty rough, whatever it was.
So binos geckos also can breed by parthenogenesis, and you can get entirely female populations, and their offspring are all clones of themselves. But you can also get males in some populations as well for genetic diversity. Very common species spread all over Australia. We see them all over the desert, we see them in the rainforest, and we see this one out in the savannah. Frilled-neck lizard.
Got a frilly on the road here.
I usually always chuck on the hazard lights when there's an animal on the road and we're out walking on the road. This way it's a lot safer.
Come on, Steve. Come on, Steve. Other side. He's got it. Wicked. That was bad filming by me.
How's that? Really?
Wicked capture, Steve. Almost evaded you, but you got him at the right time. That's the prettiest frill of one I've seen. Look at that.
Oh.
Wow.
Up this way, they have black frills. Beautiful animals. Absolutely gorgeous. And what you do is, you don't expect to catch them on the flat. You run for the nearest tree, because that's what they're doing. And then, as you saw, they're going to go around the opposite side to what you're on. And you just wrap your arms around the tree and hope for the best. And this time it paid off. Listen to that. He's not too happy.
Big yellow man.
Look at the back of his frill too, it's pretty as. You can see his teeth. Designed for catching bugs and all that.
Modern day dinosaur.
Yeah, mate. Ah! There we are. You got nice claws, this one.
Want a photo?
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna go let him go.
So as Steve was explaining, there's not too many, there's a lot of trees, but there's a wide gap between these trees, and this is the only one. So Steve knew straight away that this frilly was run into this tree. There's a termite mound here. No. And watch, he's going for this. And he'll climb up on the other side.
Have a look.
We'll show you how good these frillies climb. He'd be way up now.
He's up there. Awesome, mate. Nice find. Yellow spotted monitor. Pull forward a bit. Don't seem too concerned about our car here.
Next to the log.
Oh,
Up the tree.
too high. He's nice and warm. Oh well, you can't get everything.
Sure, we'll see another one.
He's warm.
G'day. A few habitat changes along this drive.
Go for a tree. He's going for the tree. No, he's not.
There he is.
Jump him. Just jump. Jump him. Yep. Yeah. Holy hell.
Big goanna.
That's a big one. Let's change angles.
Oh, I'm a bit tired. Sorry, that was a big run.
I'll just get a close up of that head.
Hold it like this. Well, this is one of the biggest panoptids we've seen up here, and it was a bit of a run to chase it. I needed Stephen's help. We ran pretty far from the car. These lizards are really powerful. So I'm just holding on the ground because it's pretty weighty, this lizard. So I want to be able to support all its legs better. Super strong tail. Very sharp claws. Probably a better option to hold it on the ground. Very big head. They got sharp, like razor sharp teeth. And look at that drool. It's been recently known, well, recently I'd say maybe 10 years or so, that goanna's actually venomous. But not venomous in a dangerous way. More so venomous that they have venom glands in their lower jaw there. It's actually not that deadly, so they are harmless goannas. Super sharp teeth though. They more use this whip-like tail to whip you instead of bite. Or more so they prefer to run up a tree and get out your way. Just a beautiful, beautiful lizard. Super nice yellow colours. Big long tongue like a snake. Very good sense of smell. And you can see I'm using gloves because they do have a super sharp bite. Super sharp claws. They got a good tail whip on them.
Let's check out those claws, Kyle. Now, you see how big those claws are? A little frill-neck lizard did this to me. Imagine what he can do. So if you think we're being a bit soft by wearing gloves, is this we've got better things to do than rub Dettol into our arms all day.
You can hear that hissing. It's very deep. Very loud. And that's not me actually doing that, holding the goanna. The goanna's standing up. That's their defense, to make themselves look bigger. I'm actually very gently holding its head. Beautiful lizard. Dinosaur-like skin. Just awesome. This is our second one out here. These are the biggest lizards out here, really.
Alright, so Carl's passed me this monster goanna. Seriously huge. I will just let him go now. See if we can get him to do a tail whip. Whoa! This lizard means business. Never had one do that. He knows how big he is. And he's had enough of us. Fair enough, mate. And off he goes.
Whoa. Follow him.
Majestic Kyle. Come on, mate. Get off the road.
Actually, there's some caves in there. There's a track down there. We're gonna go have a look.
Whoa. I think we found an unexplored cave. Just got to climb up into it. It's a bit tricky. Whoa. Little bat flew out. You're right, it drops right down. How awesome is this place? So we're wandering around these sandstone caves. It's an ancient reef. And in the caves, this is how fossilization occurs. This wallaby would have died in the last few years. A lot of animals come and rest around caves to live out their last few days. Eventually they'll get covered in sediment and form fossils. Time to go look for some nocturnal herbs, eh?
Yeah. Oh, and then something special.
Alright. So we're about to do something I've always wanted to do. A little bit weird. We're going to launch this kayak into a creek at night. And hopefully we'll see some interesting animals. Hopefully a freshie, actually. Nice freshwater crocodile. And because we're going to get wet, unfortunately I've got to swap to the GoPro, but Kyle's going to stay on the bank. We've got to drag the kayak 200 metres over lots and lots of tricky rocks just to get it in the water, because it's all dried up at the moment. Now, because it's dried up, that could actually be a good thing, because it might mean all the animals in this river system are just all concentrated on this one big pool. So hopefully we'll find something. Alright, let's do this.
See, mate? Good luck.
Unfortunately, the freshwater crocodiles were extremely shy for us to get any film. However, there was plenty of other wildlife to look at.
Steve's got something wicked to show me.
Check this out.
What did you find? Oh, what?
A file snake.
Awesome. Good find. Did you just see him in the shallows there?
Yeah,
This is why kayaking at night can be fun.
definitely.
We'll have to get some GoPro footage of this guy.
You've heard of snakes on a plane? Well, this is snakes on a kayak.
Wonder what else we can find in here.
We're just in a billabong pretty much. It's a river that's dried up.
All right. Do you want to hold, mate?
Now these are a very aquatic snake. In fact, they spend all their lifetime in the water. They're a very funny looking snake. They got their eyes on top of their head. So we've noticed these guys in the Northern Territory feeding on fish, and quite large fish too. This one's a very healthy specimen. And just like a normal snake, he's showing his mouth. And a staple food source for the indigenous people in the top end. They feel really, really strange, like really rough.
That's why they call them a file snake. They feel just like your dad's file down the ship.
They do. And you listen to that as it moves on the kayak. Hear that?
It's like sandpaper.
Pretty sure these guys are very hesitant to bite. I think they can bite, but they just don't often do it. Just look at that body, how it tapers. Tapers there like that. That's designed for swimming. Very strange snake. And this is the Araphura file snake.
Of course, there's the little file snake as well, but that's not found in these parts.
Yeah, that's more coastal saltwater, isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Don't count me on that, but I think it is. And whereas this one's a freshwater snake.
Eyes on top of their head, just like an anaconda. And they also don't want none unless you got buns, hun. What a find. Let's let this awesome animal go. So docile, so gorgeous, so cute. So cute.
In this dry environment, this is the only water around at the moment, so all kinds of wildlife comes to this billabong, such as this rock wallaby that's having a late evening drink. We like to use night vision as not to scare it. We aren't sure exactly what rock wallaby this is, but many rock wallaby species are rare or endangered. I'm not exactly sure, but I think this might be a Mariba rock wallaby. Would you believe rock wallabies can often be seen running along almost vertical cliffs? It just blows my mind how comfortable they actually are at such crazy heights. And speaking of wallabies, back at our accommodation, look how many agile wallabies there are. These are very common wallabies and often a common sight across Australia. We can't always herp, especially when it's 40 degrees.
So we're going to do some caving out here. Hopefully find a few bats and see what else we can see in here. This area is full of different caves. There's plenty of interesting stuff to check out. Had to go into a secret cave that luckily only I know about, not the tourists. Down we go. Probably doesn't look like it, but this is really steep and slippery.
gonna be fun coming back out.
Yep. That stick was here last time, and that was like 4 years ago. It is smooth.
Without the lights in these caves, it is pitch black.
So the bats are feeding on all the invertebrates in here. And here we have our first bat. This big guy. It's a horseshoe bat.
$400 million years ago, this place was underwater as an ocean, so this is why there are all these big caves today. It is the remnants of a large limestone reef.
I'll be building up for a herp tonight. We got bigger clouds today.
Bit of humidity, darker clouds. Might give us a bit more luck, eh? Really, really humid. The only thing not going for us is it's just about full moon, but hopefully this tropical weather really brings out all the reptiles. Check it out, mate. It's raining.
Yeah, that's way better sign there.
Oh, look at that sky. Bats everywhere. No, they're fruit bats.
Looks like they're flying low though.
They're getting a drink. Oh, that's what they're doing. Wow, look at that. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Are they just swooping down and getting
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never seen that.
I've never seen this before. That's amazing. Okay, put the night shot on.
Dipping their legs, how do they drink? So quick.
Dipping their heads in.
Can't come in.
Alright. It's all good. Alright, should be alright without a hook now. Beautiful mulga. Whoa!
Wow.
That was close.
That was.
He's fired up. You see his tail wriggling around? You can hear him hissing. Only a little one. When snakes are shorter like this, they're a lot harder to handle. Give me a large snake any day. This is a cracker, of course. Mulgars, or as they're known up this way, king browns, are a member of the black snake family, not the brown snake family, and they eat other snakes. In fact, they're pretty easygoing on what they eat. He is quick.
He's good at that. He's just that awkward size, isn't he? Wow.
Nearly flinged him into myself. Hopefully he'll settle down. Now we know why Steve Irwin said crikey so much. Because it's easy to swear when that's going on. And of course, not really meant to swear on telly. Beautiful though. And grumpy. Generally don't use hooks much these days. I've been handling snakes so long that I find they get in the way a little bit these days. But when they're an awkward size like this, right, he's just at a size where they can flick up really easily. And now that he's wrapped around the hook, I can hold him, and really in this position, he cannot bite me. So particularly in northern Australia, they're known as king browns. And the name's been changed to mulga snake. However, I think it's a bit of a silly name change, because yes, they're found in mulga country, but they're also found all over Australia in a huge variety of habitats. The mulgas were originally known as the king brown, and they still are up in a lot of the northern parts of Australia. But herpetologists tried to change the name to mulga, which is generally what we call them these days. However, it's a bit of a silly name change, because yes, these snakes live in mulga country, but they also live out on coastal dunes, they live in the desert, they live in woodlands, and up in the savannah here as well. So it's really not the greatest change of names. And the problem is king brown, well, they're not a brown snake, but they are a king of snakes out here. They eat other snakes and they get quite large. Their scientific name is Geckos australis. Obviously, Geckos is the black snake genus. Fairly nasty venom, but generally won't kill you, but it'll cause you a lot of problems, hospitalizations, and there are, I think, a few deaths from them. In other parts of northern Australia, they get absolutely massive. Around here, they don't seem to get quite as large, but they still get pretty significant. But most of the ones I find are about 4 or 5 foot. And this one's probably 2.5, not even 3. Now, they have different colorations all over Australia. We often call them pineapples up here. Pineapple snakes. With the keeled scales, they look a bit like a pineapple. And you know, lots of pineapples growing up in this part of the world. So yeah, old pineapple mulga. Get him out of this. Hey, and that's what the hook's for. See how he had no chance of getting at me then? If I didn't have the hook, he would have swung halfway towards my face, which is never pleasant. Whoa. Now he's gonna start working up towards my hand. I gotta let him go and re-grab him. I don't even need to do that. So this is great because this is our target species of the trip. So it's quite funny, I was saying, it's full moon and we often don't see a lot of snakes or reptiles or wildlife in general on full moon, because predators hunt on full moon. A lot of birds of prey they can see very well, there's a lot more light. Interestingly, I was saying to Kyle, surely something like a mulga would come out though, because with the venom they've got, they shouldn't have too many predators that would try to take them on. And well, a mulga's all we've really seen tonight. Seen a few geckos, a few other things, but not a whole lot else.
The king brown is an iconic Australian snake. Their large scales stand out among other Australian snakes, and it makes them look so beautiful.
Something that I've learned about myself. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's something wrong with me, but venomous snakes, they really get me going. But something about these larger lapids like mulgas and brown snakes and tiger snakes and taipans, they just get me really, really interested. I absolutely love them. And it's turned into a lifelong obsession. And I've been handling venomous snakes for 15 years without getting bitten, might I add. Well and truly over 1,000 snakes. And I still get super excited when I find something like this. What a stunning animal. I love that dark marks some of the mulgas get on in the middle of their head. You can see him when he puffs his head out, you can see his venom glands behind his eyes there. See if you can zoom in on that. They're nice and obvious. You can see he's flattening out. Typical defense mechanism of many elapid snakes. And obviously nothing quite does that like the cobra does. But you know, common with tiger snakes as well, and some brown snakes, and definitely mulgas like to flatten fact, their whole body out, particularly the neck, to make themselves look nice and big. All right, well, we're just gonna get some photos of him and then he can go on his way. So we've just moved him off the road and he's curled up next to this rock. Let's get a few photos. Gorgeous snake like this, you got to get some photos. Awesome. All right, good luck, mate. See you later. Kyle doesn't care about Malgus.
Wild dingoes rummaging around the park. Got to be pretty careful of them. He's getting close.
Oh no. Run, Kyle, run! All right, we're here at the wee tree, it says here, in the middle of the outback. Often when you travel around, you'll find weird things like shoes in trees, socks in trees. Never seen this before, undies in trees. So I'm going to make my own very, stinky, skid marky offering of my own jocks to the wee tree. Yeah, get it riding good in there, mate. So we're about to meet up with a mate of mine who's been in a few videos, Will Kemp, who drives this train here. We're going to take him herping tonight.
Our mate Will drives a Savannahlander train as a tour guide. On a recent film Steve made, he goes herping with Will on this train.
Let's hijack the train.
Stephen came puffing into the station.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the train.
I was trying to push out a fart.
Oh, okay. I thought I was breaking some like strict rail rules right now, and you're like, "Oh, don't film that."
That's all it was, just trying to fart. So he's been.
Will loves his job and he's keen to tell us about what wildlife he has seen recently. He is born and bred in North Queensland and he is extremely knowledgeable about all kinds of wildlife. He's also got Steve's sense of humour.
Welcome to Australia.
Pretty much.
On the bar. It's a f***ing prawn. Shrimp bullshit.
You may notice in this episode, we seem to bring up poo a lot.
Because I need to shower after I shit. I have to shit white because my bum is delicate. And I feel dirty.
Well, I'm the same anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not
I feel like there's poo stuck on my pores. And
Our back barbecue. So there's a bit of an ongoing joke. Because Kyle's got a tiny bit of Italian heritage, we make him cook absolutely everything. And he's pretty good at it.
Where are the olives?
What a beautiful sunset. But soon, it's time to take Will out herping.
lovely apricot.
Yeah, apricot on
Apricot, maybe coral. Coral sea.
Salmon pink? No.
Yeah. Lovely original tail. Beautiful little animal. How do you guys not get excited over this?
Oh, because
Bad luck.
they're everywhere in WA, but I love seeing them.
Yeah, I think they're cool as. I got one the other day and got a real close up of its face. They always remind me of Spinosaurus.
Oh, they do a bit, eh?
So, like, everyone's recording all at one time. We're all recording. There's a car coming.
Ah.
Burton's like the scissors. Anyway, let it go.
Sweet.
We got a Carpentaria snake here.
That's good because we're kind of in Carpentaria country. So
Yeah.
checks out.
And it's fitting as we're with my mate Will.
who's loves his smaller leopards. Get in there, Will.
Yeah,
Get right in the shot.
Helping him out.
Get in
here.
the shot. Yeah.
Can you show
brother
me
support.
how you like a snake to be handled? We try to keep it PG, but it's not going to happen. I don't know. Related to the small-eyed snake, is there a car coming?
Can't see one.
No. Cool. I just thought I heard
hear it,
something. It's
yeah.
probably mine. Probably just that bloody train, the Savannahlander, making all that noise. I can't think of anything to say, Kyle, can you?
No, but I got a good shot here.
Oh, yeah.
Nocturnal skink eaters. What do you reckon? Skinks, little geckos.
Do you know much about their venom, Will?
I know nothing about their venom, but all I know is that like the venom of smaller leopards is relatively understudied.
Yeah.
And we do have some extremely toxic smaller leopards, and especially some of the animals in that, was it Cryptophus?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. So, you know, your small-eyed snake. Even like things like Farina tristis, little brown-headed snake and stuff. There's some really small venomous snakes that we don't give enough credit to that can put people in life-threatening situations. So guys like Carpentaria snakes, black-striped snakes, you know, they're not something that I'd want to get bitten by, because I think it's all kind of, you know, work in progress.
Oh, there's a few out in WA I used to handle just willy-nilly because everyone said, oh, they don't do anything. And I've now studied the venom, and it's pretty bloody toxic. It's like borderline deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the monk snakes and stuff.
What's some of the Suda and Parasuda? All right.
I should move them off the road.
We shall.
The road's still warm.
Which way was he going? He's going this way.
Can't remember.
Carpentaria snake. Yeah, in the Carpentaria.
So we just got a little Carpentaria snake.
So we just got a Carpentaria snake.
The boys have got a little Carpentaria snake just off the road. Turn it around. Where is it? Hey guys, Will from the Savannahlander here. Just out near Almaden with a couple of mates of mine, Steve and Kyle. They've come out to check out some of the nightlife, and they decided to come pay a visit in Almaden and take me for a bit of a drive while the train's pulled up there in Almaden. We've just come across this little fella on the road. This is a bandy. They're a fairly well-known snake throughout Australia because of their brilliant patterning. We're going to get him off the road, but the only reason I just wanted to point this guy out to is because any of you who have been on the trip, you might know of my termite talk that I give to everyone. And in that termite talk, I bring up a group of snakes, the blind snakes, that eat termites, live inside the chambers and networks and cruise around eating larvae and eggs. This bandy only eats blind snakes. Totally what he lives on. Doesn't eat skinks, geckos, mice, nothing like that. Just eats the blind snakes that are found within the termite mounds. So if the blind snakes weren't specialist enough for you, this guy's taken it to a whole nother level. And his entire diet, his whole species, survives on those snakes. And I reckon that's pretty cool. It's just another example of one of our really unique creatures doing what it has to do to not just survive, but thrive in Australia. Anyway, we'll let him go, and we better get home. See you.
Okay, so maybe Will should do our voiceovers. He said that all in one take. I guess being a tour guide every day helps. Hey, Will, that would have taken me ages to say all that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I like poo.
That poo dust. Let's grab a tooth.
Oh.
We could.
Oh well, we'll let him go.
Sweet. It's alright if he doesn't want to do it. Doesn't want to do it.
Do the ring then, come on.
Do the thing you're famous for.
This is my first bandy, so I take it as an incredible find. They usually puff their belly sideways for defense, but this one did not want to do it.
Just the way it moves is so cool. What do we got here, mate? That's pretty.
Prettiest gecko. Saddleback.
It's got the goods.
Because we're on a highway, we have to get off the road as soon as we see a car, because these cars are travelling at very high speed.
Yeah, I got the shot.
No idea.
what it is, but it's out hunting at night. Clearly built for speed.
Because we are so keen on herping, we are still looking for reptiles back at the homestead.
Someone's active.
Wow, what you got here, Carl?
I think it's a Kalia, but all the skinks are very nocturnal right now on the full moon. They're not going out far away from the rocky outcrop. They're staying in the safety of the rocks from the predators.
Beautiful.
Pop them back.
And of course, everyone's favourite frog, the green tree frog. What are you thinking about? World domination? Or perhaps juicy cockroaches?
Thanks for watching, and thanks heaps to Will for coming out for a herp.
I'll put a link in the description where Steve goes herping on the Savannahlander train with Will.
If you liked the video, please subscribe as it helps us out a lot. See you all next time.